Hello again, everybody. I'm Chris Mooneyham, and welcome to the TCA All Sports Report. As always, brought to you by Fox 5 Atlanta, 680 The Fan, and of course, the Touchdown Club of Atlanta. Another big thanks goes out to all of you who joined us this past week, Monday was it the 14th? Yeah, Monday the 14th at 103 West in Buckhead, as Barry Switzer joined us, the legendary Dallas Cowboys, legendary Oklahoma head coach, and yes, he also won a title in Dallas as well, but boy, oh boy, Barry Switzer was quite a treat at 103 West in Buckhead. He gave an absolutely tremendous hour-long speech, 45-minute long speech, I suppose, maybe an hour, but either way, you didn't really keep track of time because he was just that good, and that is what you should come to expect if you're new to the Touchdown Club of Atlanta. Speaking of which, coming up next week, well, depending on when you're watching this, of course, how about this? Monday, September 28th, again at noon, and again at 103 West in Buckhead. We will have Pat Dye on hand. Pat Dye, of course, well known from his days as the head coach at Auburn University. And, of course, many of you out there will remember that he was at one point, he came up. He came up here. He's a Georgia guy, remember. He played at Richmond Academy. I'm searching through my historic memory banks here. Won a state championship. I should have researched this beforehand instead of ad-libbing off the top of my head. I'm going to say that they won the state championship with Pat Dye in like 56 or 57, I guess. It was probably 56 that he won the state championship with Richmond Academy, because I also know that in 1960, his last year at the University of Georgia as a lineman, the TCA named him the SEC Lineman of the Year. So he goes way back with the Touchdown Club of Atlanta, and of course spent some time here coming to our meetings in the 80s and 90s and giving speeches when all the SEC coaches would come through. So Pat Dye, former Richmond Academy player and state champion, former University of Georgia player and TCA award winner, and of course Auburn head coach, will join us Monday, September 28th at 103 West in Buckhead. That's starting at noon. Of course, for more information, other events and schedules and tickets, touchdownclubofatlanta.com. So a big week across Georgia high school football last week and this week. Of course, this is really when things get ramped up the most. We're beginning region play now. Some regions have started. Most have started. We're really getting into it. I would say that roughly maybe 20% of the state has not played a region schedule thus far. Most will over the next couple of weeks as we'll really start to get into it. We got a big ball game, by the way, coming up on 680 The Fan this week, or more precisely 1230 The Fan 2, 1340 The Fan 3, and at atlantasportstation.com, 1230 The Fan 2, 1340 The Fan 3, atlantasportstation.com, and 680 The Fan and 93.7 will pick up our broadcast once the Braves game and the post-game show with Ben Ingram is over. But Alpharetta and Lambert, a key ball game in the 6A classification and in Region 6 for the playoffs and region standings. Join us at 7 p.m. for the Nally Lexus of Roswell pregame show. Kickoff at about 7:30. Okay, so now we move into week 3 of our TCA awards, and all of the gentlemen that I'm about to mention to you as our week 3 award winners again will be honored at that Pat Dye luncheon on September 28th. We start with our Duffy Realty of Atlanta Back of the Week, and a kid who's really emerged early on this year as one of the top dual threat quarterbacks in our entire state. Last year, Jack Chambers showed a lot of potential as to what he could be, taking over the starting role into the season, showed flashes, and a lot of people, including yours truly, had Parkview as a playoff team in 2015. And one big reason why? The play that we thought we would see out of Jack Chambers. Now, having said that, let me pump the brakes a little bit and back up just a tad. Never did I think that Jack Chambers would be this good. But the kid is our Duffy Realty of Atlanta Week 3 Back of the Week for this reason, because of their blowout victory against their arch rivals. Always tough to blow out an arch rival because they know you so well. But Chambers last week goes 19 out of 23 for 404 and 4 scores through the air. 19 of 23 for 404 yards and 4 touchdowns. Keep in mind, this kid's got about 800 yards through the air this year through 3 games and just shy of 300 on the ground this year. Jack Chambers from Parkview, the senior quarterback, our Duffy Realty of Atlanta Back of the Week. Our lineman of the week is a Cedar Grove Saint, 6'3", 305. It's Antwuan Jackson, one of the more highly recruited defensive linemen in our state, and a well-known defensive line recruit across the country. And he had an amazing ball game in their 35-7 victory over Miller Grove this past week. He goes for 8 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, one of which he recovered, and he also scored a touchdown in the ball game, got a rushing touchdown as well, 35-7. Again, they beat Miller Grove, and Cedar Grove now looks like they might be starting to hit their stride. They were one of my sleeper picks to win the state championship inside of their classification. He has over 40 offers from major Division I programs and has yet to declare where he'll be playing his college ball. Of course, all he has to do is say, hey, coach, I want to come play for you, and that'll probably decide it. Antwuan Jackson from Cedar Grove is our lineman of the week. And finally, our coach of the week this week is a guy who's leading a program that's been kind of an enigma so far this year. They were playing a nationally ranked tough schedule, losing to Archer inside of the state when they were number 1, and losing to Christ Presbyterian of Nashville. I think, I think they're out of Nashville, Tennessee. I might be wrong on that, but I believe, having never seen them, but hearing about them, out of Nashville, Tennessee. My point being, 2 tough teams to start the season, and Peachtree Ridge lost to both of those clubs. And then this past week, they had to face the number 2 team in the state, according to the AJC, in McEachern. And I said on the air last week, I don't mean to, brag or pat myself on the back, but during our Nally Lexus of Roswell 680 The Fan pregame show, I did say on the air, I got a sneaking suspicion that even if Peachtree Ridge doesn't win this ball game tonight, that they are absolutely going to be within 3 points and within striking distance of beating McEachern. Just could not see such a talented team with such a great defense starting their season at 0-3. Well, I didn't quite call the upset, but I did think it was possible, and they did go out and beat McEachern. And for that reason, head coach Mark Fleetwood is our coach of the week this week. His team intercepted one of the best quarterbacks in the state, Bailey Hockman, twice, returning one of them for a touchdown, and they also got a safety in the ball game as well. So for that reason, 9-6. Peachtree Ridge beats McEachern, and Mark Fleetwood is our Touchdown Club of Atlanta Coach of the Week. Expect Peachtree Ridge to finish their season inside of the top 10 rankings. Okay, until next week, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Thanks for joining us again, everybody, right here on the Touchdown Club of Atlanta's TCA All Sports Report.